And you need, after the bachelor's degree, you need to spend 3 years. I don't know whether in Indonesia you spend 3 years or 2 years for master's degree, but I know that in many European countries, you just spend 1 year to get a master's degree. In China, it costs you 3 years to finish your master's degree. And after that, just like Dr. Popzi, you spend 4 years of doctors, so you got a PhD. So that's a very long way. So yes, accused from year 2, and when you finish all the education, you are 28, yes. So that's a structure. For the education government in Shanghai, we have a two-tier government, two-tier management. There's something a little different with the Indonesia government. So you know, in the top, we have the Municipal Government Education Commission. So this commission, most of their functions are about policy making, the regulations, requirements, everything. But the school budget is not from the municipal government. The school budgets are from the district bureau, education bureau. So, district education bureau will in charge of the human resources, budgets, and infrastructures and everything of the school. And also on top, we have a government office of inspection. So this inspection is independent, and it's responsible for the inspection of the policy implementation from the district level, and also they will inspect the school, whether we obey the rules by the government. Okay. So that's a management model of Shanghai. So today our topic is all about student learning and teacher development. So first I would like to give you a very brief introduction of PISA and TALIS. So I know that most of you are from PISA participating schools. Yeah, so next year, students in your school participate in next cycle PISA, right? So, and I know Jakarta get a very good score, because you are on the second of all the provinces in Indonesia, right? So that's a great achievement. So I think student achievement influenced very much by the teachers, principals, and education bureaus. So I think this is the achievement by the education staffs, education organizer officers. That is very important. So talking about PISA, we know PISA is an international study, cooperation of different governments. This program initiated by OECD. So you know, OECD is not an education institution. It's about economic development. So the name is Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development. So it's not education institution. So they look education not as education. They look education as human resource providers. So the assessment, not knowledge or skills of students. They give a name of the assessment as literacy. So what is literacy? So when we are teaching in the classroom, we're thinking about, so what content should we teach? Some people say, I teach the student knowledge, I train them some skills, but OECD said, so the thing we want to assess is literacy. So literacy in the very same words is meaning that the ability, the competency of students, which can provide them to find a job, to support their life in society. So they can solve all the problems when they encounter in the real world. So OECD, they give some explanation of the literacy, that literacy is the capacity to apply knowledge and skills for full participation in modern society. And because they assess the 15-year-olds, so the assessment focuses on reading, math, science, and problem solving. There are very important difference between PISA and other international assessments, like TEAMS, PROS. You know, TEAMS, PROS are from IDA. IDA is an institution for education research. So TEAMS, PROS is curriculum related. So they will study first your curriculum. For example, if Indonesia participates in TEAMS, the experts from IDA will study your curriculum and find what kind of contents you are teaching your students. Then they will consider what kind of things you will test. But PISA is different. They are curriculum unrelated. So every country can participate in PISA. Even you use different language, different textbooks, different ways of teaching. It's unwritten. So we can see that in last cycle there are, sorry for that. In last cycle there are 81 countries participate in PISA. And from the top right, you can see Shanghai participated in PISA from the year 2009. The year 2009, that year, reading is a main domain of PISA assessment. And after 3 years, we also participated in PISA 2012. And after that, our MOE, Ministry of Education, choose to participate PISA for 4 provinces, not only Shanghai but other provinces. So we got the results of Shanghai only in 2009 and 2012, but we got other outcomes from other provinces from the year 2013. Here I give you a whole table of all the results from the year 2009 until PISA 2022. You can see the year 2009 and 2012, the result is from Shanghai. And from 2015, the other 2 provinces. We can see here, from the year 2009, Shanghai is the top of all the participating countries, especially in math. You can see in the year 2009, 600, and in the year 2012, 613. So it's, that means our students outperform the OECD average almost 100 score points. So 100 means if the average OECD students want to reach the level of Shanghai students, they need to learn more than 2.5 years to reach that benchmark. And and you can see In year 2015, there are 4 provinces other than Shanghai, Beijing, Jiangsu, and Guangdong also participate. And the score is not very good. Not very good. It's almost at the same level of OECD. And the year 2018, we improved at the top one another time. But since the pandemic in 2022, China did not participate in that cycle. But next year, we will participate in also from the 4 provinces. Okay, so we can see the average score of China in Shanghai is reached a very high level, and we're talking about human resources. So we always see the students whose performance in 3 domains, I mean reading, math, and science at the top. We see these students as talents. So we can see here in the middle, in the 2 provinces of China, almost 18% of students, they perform well in reading, math, and science. But for the OECD, only 5%. Okay. So we move to each domain. So this is from PISA 2009. You can see here is Shanghai. So we can find from this graph that in the top, I mean the 95th percentile score of Shanghai, there are not very large difference between Shanghai and other countries. For example, Singapore, New Zealand. There's not very much difference. But why Shanghai at the top? It's because the bottom part. You can see the 5th percentile score of Shanghai, China, Singapore, and New Zealand are 417 points, 357. That means the bottom Shanghai is higher than that of Singapore and New Zealand. So, I mean, this is the secret of the success of Shanghai education. So we not only improve the top schools, we improve the bottom schools. That's very important for our performance. And for math, so this is from PISA 2012. In math, the Chinese students always perform very well. I think not only China, but also Japan and Korea. So East Asian countries always perform very well. You can see here, Shanghai, Singapore, Hong Kong, Korea, Macau, Japan, and Chinese Taipei, all in the top. So why East Asian countries always top in math? That's the secret. And many foreign experts came to Shanghai, came to Japan, Korea to study. Why? So I think I will share some of the secrets with you later. Okay, so talking about science, we can see here, science. In Shanghai, the most worried subject for our government is not reading, not math, it's science. And nowadays, STEM is a very important topic across the world. So what did the students perform in science? So you can see, although we perform very well, but not that well as math. And you can see many Western countries also perform very well, like Finland, like Canada, Germany. So our government, in recent years, our government tried many strategies and plans to improve the science performance of students. Okay. So we're talking about education, we're not going to talk about quality, but also equality, equity, and equality, equity. So when we talk about the equity, we can analyze the education equity with the influence of students' ES. That means the students' economic, social status, economic, social, and cultural status. So the background of the students, if the background of students, I mean CS, influence very much for their performance, that means your education is not equal. If the ESCS have very little influence of the students' score, that means your education is equal. So we can see here, we divided by the OECD average, we divide all the countries into 4 parts, 4 groups. So this is the first group, second group, third group, and fourth group. So the first group, the country in the first groups, they perform well. That means they have a high quality and also a high equity. Here is Macau, Hong Kong, Estonia, Korea, Japan, Finland, and also United Kingdom. And for the second group, that means you have a high quality, but the equity of the education is not very well. So here we have some countries like Germany, Belgium, France. So where's China? China is here. So we, in terms of quality, we are at the top. And in terms of equity, we are at the same level of OECD average. So that looks, I think, like it's true, because the 4 provinces, it's the population from the 4 provinces is even larger than most of the countries in the world. Okay. So after quality and equity, I want to say something about the school atmosphere. You can see this is the result from PISA 2012. So the horizontal line, this one, is the index of teacher-student relation. And this one is the index of disciplinary climate. You can see in China, our teacher, our principal, and our government pays very much attention to the discipline. So the classroom always very disciplined. But you can see student-teacher relations also very well. It's very special for some countries who have been very, for example, in Japan. They have very good disciplinary climate, but students report a bad student-teacher relation. So today, most of the country know that student social, economic, social, emotional skills are important for their future. So I think Japan will need to improve how teacher and students to relate to each other. And also for Finland, you can see Finland is a top Western countries in PISA, but according to students' report, the student-teacher relationship and also the disciplinary climate in their classroom is lower than that of the OECD average. So that's a problem for Finland. Okay, so that's Finland, Japan, and Shanghai. So I give you very brief findings from PISA for Shanghai and China. So after the PISA, so many experts from across the world come to Shanghai, come to China to find, so what is the secret? Some people see maybe that's a tradition or culture, heritage. And some will see that it's not only the traditional but curriculum, because you have continuous reforms for curriculum. And some will see that because the government gives you very much financial support. And also, the British teachers see that in China, the education system has some advantages. So many people, I think each people has his own answer. So there are some VIP, very important person give their answers. But this is our director, UNESCO Tech, Professor Zhang Yixuan. When he saw the results of PISA, he concluded that the PISA results is from the holding up the bottom makes all better. That means, just like when the river rises, the boat floats higher. So that means the secret of Shanghai successful in PISA is because we improve all the bottom schools. We help the poor students to make them learn better. We not only just pay attention to the high quality schools. That's a view from Professor Gang. And also from the outsiders, Mr. Thomas Friedman. He came to Shanghai several times and seated behind the school to observe the lessons. He said, when you sit on the class here and meet with the principal and teachers, what you find is a relentless focus on all the basics that we know make for high-performing schools, but that are difficult to pull off consistently across an entire school system. These are a deep commitment to teacher training. I think that is a function of this center, the teacher training. And peer-to-peer learning, teacher learning from each other, and constant professional development. A deep involvement of parents in their children's learning, and insistence by the school's leadership on the highest standards, and a culture that prizes education and respects teachers. That's the conclusion, that's the findings from Tom Friedman. He's an outsider. So sometimes when we want to find the secrets from some education, most of research, if you are among the system, something for you is unseen. So because most of the teachers in the same system, they see everything is natural. But if you're outsider, you see something different. So in this perspective, we need some international collaboration to do research, to learn from each other. So that's a different conclusion from different people. So, but we can conclude that student performance are mostly influenced by teachers, the teacher task force. So what is the teachers? So how Shanghai develops their teachers? That's an important question for us. So our government decided to develop, to participate in another international research. So the name is TALIS. TALIS is about teacher and principal. It studies how teachers work, how teachers see their jobs, how teachers feel when they are working, how teachers satisfied, whether they are satisfied with their work. So this program from the year of 2008, we participated in this program from the year of 2013. So it covers from the SQ 1 to SQ 3 nowadays. And this year, we just finished data collection in May. And this year, there are more than 50 countries participating in this project. Okay, I think Indonesia is not in this cycle. In the next cycle, you will be one of the TALIS member. Okay, so from TALIS, we can find some of the teachers, how teachers develop themselves in different countries. So first, so we want to ask the question, what is a typical Shanghai lower secondary teacher? Because we only participate in the core survey. That is for the lower secondary teachers. We can see from this graph, Shanghai teacher is very young compared with other countries. You can see the average of Shanghai teachers, the average age is almost 38 years old for Shanghai teachers. And you can, if you want to compare some countries, you can see Georgia, Estonia, Lithuania. The average age of teachers is more than 50. So that is a problem if your education system cannot attract young people to come to be a teacher. That means your education system has some serious problem. Young people do not want to become a teacher. And how can you cultivate your students, cultivate your kids? And also, we can find that in Singapore, they have a very young teacher task force. In Singapore. It's even younger than that of Shanghai. And also for Turkey, Malta. Although our teachers are young, but it's very interesting to see that you can see the average working years of Shanghai teachers is same as the OECD. So sometimes people will ask the question, why? Why you have a young teacher task force, but also in teachers' working years, that is experiences of teaching, is at the same level of OECD. So we all know that China developed very fast in the last 40 years. When I was a little kid, I can't imagine the life after 30 years. So when I was a little kid, my school, my mother is a teacher, a Chinese teacher. The school is very small, maybe only 200 students. And we have just the blackboard, chopsticks, you have nothing. So at that time, most of the schools in China are like that. So especially teacher shortage was a very serious problem for Chinese government. So Chinese government found a solution. We set up many normal schools. So it's not a normal school, it's not a university, it's like a vocational school. So it's at the same level of high school. So they select the best students from junior secondary schools and train them 3 years in a normal school. After 3 years of training, they could go to the schools to be a primary teacher. And some of the students also go to the middle school. So you can see at 19 years old, the age of 19, they go to school to be a teacher. So this makes many teachers, they worked from a very early years, not from university graduates, just after high school. But that group of teachers, because they are selected the best one. So a study shows that most of the students are in the top 3. That means the first 3% of the population. So it's very smart, and they can learn during their work. So this makes the average teacher average teacher working years longer and makes them young. Many of the teachers graduate from normal schools, they continue their study, and nowadays most of them are becoming principals and education officers. But when we're talking about the teacher force, you can see in many countries, in the middle school, female teachers are more than that of male teachers. I think maybe in Indonesia you have the same situation. Yes. 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 There are only one exception. It's Japan. You can see in Japan, they have more male teachers in junior secondary. In Shanghai, we have, in our junior secondary teacher force, we have almost 74% of female teachers. So in China, we always have a saying that women can hold up half of the sky. Women hold up half of the sky. But by education, women hold more than half of the sky. So we should thank the female teachers. But this also leads to a problem. Because there are too many female teachers in the school. You can see in Latvia, almost 90% of teachers are female. Especially in the primary school and kindergarten. In China, in Shanghai, if you want to, years ago, we opened a new department. It's called Department for Veterans. The veterans, it's military troops. For veterans, so what is this department for? Because we want to invite the male teachers, so we choose the best veterans from troops, and we select them and train them in the Department of Veterans, and train them to teachers, so from troop to teachers. So this may help, but after 2 years of experiment, it's not very successful, because many veterans do not want to be a teacher. They want to do some business that earn more money, you know? So that's a problem, I think. It's very interesting. Last year, we have a delegation go to Norway, Oslo, to find how they improve the percentage of male kindergarten teachers. It's very interesting in Norway, because the government from Norway, they want to improve the percentage of male teachers in kindergarten to 20% in next 5 years. 20%. That's a very large percentage. And we found that most of the teachers in kindergarten, male teachers in kindergarten, are not white people. Most of them are refugees. So one of the teachers we are talking with, he told us that because he was a refugee from Africa to Norway, and he spent a very poor childhood, very difficult childhood. So we want to help the others. So I think this policy will help. There will be more male teachers, but it also has some problems for the kindergartens. Okay, let's go to next. So when we're talking about education attainment, you can see in most of the European countries, a junior secondary teacher always holds a master's degree. Here we can see most of the European countries, it's more than half of them to hold a master's degree. But for Shanghai, only 13% of our junior secondary teachers hold a master's degree. So our government, now we are making the plan for the year 2035. So we want to improve this percentage to 25% in the next 10 years. But you know, just as I mentioned before, that in most of the European countries, the students only need to spend 1 year to get a master's degree. But in China, how many years? 3 years. So that's very difficult for the student to get a master's degree. So in my university, we are initiating a new reform for the teacher cultivation. So in the near future, we'll change the teacher training program from 4 years plus 3 years to 5 years. So after 5 years of study, you will get a master's degree. So that means the first 3 years, you will stay in maybe your major. For example, if you want to be a physics teacher, you just study physics in physics department. And after 3 years, if you want to be a teacher, there is evaluation, assessment. And we will evaluate whether you could be a good teacher. And then we have 2 years of teacher training. These 2 years are mainly focused on the teaching, clinic, and also research. So combine 3 and 2 years together, we can give the students a master's degree. So that will change the situation of teacher cultivation now in China. So this is a new trend of teacher training projects. Okay. So after you graduate from university, you go to a school. So you are new teachers in China, in Shanghai. If you are a new teacher, you will have many chances to develop yourself. For example, for the initial training programs, we can see here, all Shanghai schools will provide formal induction activities for the new teachers. And also in England, in Singapore, and also England, UK, they also provide the formal induction activities for new teachers. But from the teacher's perspective, teacher's report, you can see in Singapore, not all the teachers said that I have such programs. But in Shanghai, most of the teachers will say, yes, I have a formal induction activities. So that means in Shanghai, all the schools will provide formal induction activities for new teachers, and all the new teachers, almost all the new teachers will have a formal induction activities. So that's one part. And second, each of the new teacher will have a mentor. I think it's similar here in Indonesia. New teachers always have a mentor to help them. But in China, if you're a math teacher, you will have a mentor come from math. So if you're a PE teacher, you will have a mentor from PE. So you have the same subject. You know, we have exchange program with the British math teacher to Shanghai, and we talk about the mentoring system. Some of the math teachers told us that they have a mentor, not from math. From which subject? From math. From PE. You know, there's a joke in China. If someone's math is not good, we will see, you must have a PE teacher teaching you math. So we found that in many math teachers from England, they did not study math in their university. They study other majors, but they come to teach math. So that's a problem for them, for improving the students' math. You know, in England, students after 16-year-olds, they can choose whether they learn math or not. But in China, all students need to learn math, even you are in university. So, math is very important, not only for STEM, but for the whole life of each citizen. So the school system always focuses on math as the most important subject in China. Okay, so in Shanghai, each teacher will have a mentor from the same subject. And we can see, we can see we have a system for the new teachers. If you are a new teacher, the first year you will divide your working time half. So half of your working time will spend on another school, not in your own school. This school is the best school in your district. So you will spend half your working time in that school. You observe the classroom teaching, you participate in the teaching research group, you participate in all the activities in that school. In this way, we want them to bring back all the good things from the best school to their own school. So the young teachers really, the first year is very tough for them. Many young teachers, the first year, they will cry after work because the workload is very high. And for the in-service training, we can see our government always provides opportunities for teachers. Here we can see, we can compare with the international average. In Shanghai, each year, the Shanghai teachers will spend almost 68 days in professional development. So compared with the international average, it's only almost 30 days. So each day equals to 8 hours of working. So we can see it's 62. So that means our teachers spend more time on professional development. makes the teacher more professional. So when we have the exchange program with the British, they came to Shanghai, they observed our teachers' work. They said, oh, you are more professional than us because we only spend very little time on professional development. And professional development is very important for your teaching. So they also ask the question, how can you have so much time to spend on professional development? So I don't know what is a day or times or days you spend on professional development. So here is a work time arrangement of different countries. We can find the secret here. You can see on average, on the international average, teachers spend half of their working hours in teaching, but not for Shanghai. Here you can see in Shanghai, our teachers only spend 1/3 of the working hours in teaching. So if you are a math teacher in Shanghai, you just teach 13 periods each week. 13 periods each week. But for many other countries, teachers will teach more than 20 periods each week. So you may have a question. How can you teach less and spend more on professional development? So you can see, although the student-teacher ratio in Shanghai is similar as the international average is almost 13. I don't know the ratio, the student-teacher ratio in Indonesia. But in most of the other countries, they have a small class size. So how many students in a normal class in Indonesia? 32. 32. So guess how many in China? What? 20? 20? Other results? More than Indonesia.
40.
You see, 35 is very big class. But the typical class in Shanghai is 40.
40.
It's 40. And take my daughter example. My daughter is at grade 6 now. In her class, they have 50 students.
What?
They have 50 students. Can you imagine? 50 students in the classroom. That is very big class size. And I can tell you, in some of the rural areas, the best school, especially the middle school, they have more than 50, maybe 60. And even larger schools, they have 70 students. So that means we have a bigger class. We have a bigger class size. So normally in the Western countries, the class size is 20. Is 20. So our teacher, each time they teach 40 students, is twice of that of other countries. So this makes teacher teach less. But it also leads to some problem. So guess what is the problem? Because the classes is big and teachers cannot give advices or consulting to each student. They cannot personalize their teaching. That's a problem for our teachers. So, but that's a tradition, you know. That's a tradition in last 40 years, the class size is always similar. It do not change. So our teacher will spend more time on lesson plan. Because you have a huge class, you need to prepare the lesson very carefully. You need to know what the best students can learn, what the bottom students, what's the situation with them. You need to ensure each class, each lesson, more than 80% of the students will reach the standard of the class, of the lesson. So the British people give a name of our teaching. The name is Mastering Learning. Mastering Learning and Teaching. So what is master learning and teaching? That means each time you need to ensure that 80% of the students reach the standard you have set. So that's the secret. Our teachers prepare the lesson very carefully. And they spend more time on homework correction. So when we correct the student's homework, you'll find some students do not work well. So they will ask the student to their office and talk with them. So in this way, teachers can give more instructions to the students personalized. And also, the teachers will have more time on their professional learning. You know, in China, we have very special mechanism for teachers' development. Each week, there will be one afternoon free for all the teachers. So they spend this afternoon to have a teaching research group. So if you are a Chinese teacher, you sit with all the Chinese teachers in your school. You discuss all the problems, all the things you met in your teaching. And also you do some research. So this will happen each week. And you also have a grade group. What is grade group? If you are teach grade 6. So all the teachers from grade 6 will sit together to have a meeting to solve the problem for students. For the students, they will talk with each other. So this is from school level. Teacher each week they will have one afternoon for professional development. And on the district level, we also have such teaching research office to provide teacher professional development courses. And even on the municipal level, we have a teacher research office to provide trainings. I will explain this system more later. Okay, so our teacher teach less but learn more. This makes them more professional. And you can see in China, if you are a new teacher, you will always give open class. That means other teachers will come to your classroom to observe. And if you are a principal, when you walk in the corridors of the school building, you can open every door of the classroom just to go in to see what is happening in the classroom. So for some Western education experts, they think that classroom is a private area for the teacher. I don't know whether in Indonesia, if you are principal, can you just open the door and go into the classroom? Yes. That's great. Because we believe that classroom teaching is not your teacher's private area. It's for all the kids. It's a public area. So everyone, especially for the professionals, they can go into and to look, to observe, and give you suggestions. So for Chinese teachers, if you can give open class teaching, that is an honor for you. That is not a problem, that's an honor. Because the school principals choose you as a maybe some kind of model for the teachers. They are come to learn from you. So I can give you a story. 8 years ago, colleagues from Czech Republic came to Shanghai and I invited him to visit the school. When he worked in the school, he told me that he said, "You have huge windows in the classroom. Your classroom has huge windows." I don't know what it means because huge windows, because it's normal. But he told me that in Czech Republic, the windows are very high. They're very high and small. So if you go in the corridors, you cannot see what is happening in this classroom. That's very interesting, huh? Okay. So you can see our teachers always observe others' classroom. We have a very big difference with the generation. Okay, so how teachers think about their work? You can see that teachers' perception of their job value. Here's Shanghai. Although we are not the best one, in Malaysia and Singapore, teachers think that their job is valued by the society. They have the most percentage, high percentage. And in Shanghai, although there are almost more than 40% of teachers, but I think this one is decreased because, especially in the big cities, maybe 20, 30 years ago, teachers are very respected by the society because many of the populations are illiterate. Teachers have knowledge, they have high social status. But nowadays, especially in the big cities, most of the parents of the kids, they hold a bachelor's degree, or always most of the parents, they have higher certificates than teachers. So sometimes teachers are not so respected by society. And teachers' satisfaction, job satisfaction improves very large from year 2003 to year 2018. We can see here, yes, we improve if I could decide again I would still choose to work as a teacher. So teacher salary in Shanghai is at the average of the society. So not very high. And in Shanghai, the living cost is very high. Shanghai is very expensive. So you can, if you are a teacher, you will, your earnings 1 year earnings only can support 1 meter for the apartment. So the apartment is very expensive and the living standard. So that is a problem for our teachers. So our government is trying to increase the teacher salary. So how can we increase job satisfaction? So after TALIS 2013 plus, our government increased teacher salaries 3 times in 1 year. So this makes them feel better. I think in many of the developing countries, although we have a good teacher force, but the salaries of the teachers are not very high. So that means increase in the future. So this is Chinese findings, and just to conclude all the results together. And we can see in Shanghai, teacher plays a very vital role for the student performance, and our government really focus on teacher professional development. That is vital for the professional development. And then I will go to the next part, related experiences and innovations. So first, we're talking about education in China. So we would see that in the culture, we have a tradition that respect education. So here we can see from the ancient book called Guanzi. It said, the best thing to plan for a year is to sow grains. The best thing to plan for 10 years is to plant trees. And the best thing to plan for 100 years is to educate people and train talents. So that's a belief of Chinese culture. So here you can see that's a Chinese character of this one, the meaning is the same. So you can see everywhere this kind of slogan. That means the best thing to plan for 10 years is to plant trees. And the best thing to plan for 100 years is to educate people. You can see all kinds of these slogans. And Chinese people really believe this. And also, the parents, the Chinese parents, they have high expectation of their children's education and future. I think most of the Chinese people will believe that the most important, most valuable things they can leave for their kids is education. So it's not about whether you are rich or you are poor. They all believe education. So I can give you an example. A teacher from a primary school, we found the homework of one student always very dirty. Always very dirty. So she asked the student, she talked with him, why you always make your homework so dirty? Can you make it clean? Then the teacher go with the student to their home, to his home, to find what's the reason. And he found that she found that the parents of the kids, they sell vegetables in the market. They do not have a table for the kids to finish their homework. After school, the kids will go to the market, and his parents will push the vegetables aside and give a little place for him to finish the homework. So this makes his homework dirty. So this means, even you are vegetable vendor, you sell vegetables, you have a very low level of position in the society. You pay attention to your kids' education. So I think that's a belief of Chinese tradition. And also in China, we believe some of they're saying that, for example, diligence and hard work in study makes different changes. If your kids do not work very hard, if the kids come back to home, so parents do not say that you are foolish. They will say you are not working very hard. If you work hard, you can improve. So everybody can success in education. So we have all things such as diligence begins stupidity. And also, if you go to China, you'll find this kind of saying. I don't know whether it came from Thomas Edison. He said, genius equals 1% of its direction plus 99 perspiration. So that's a belief of Chinese culture. So Chinese culture plays a role in the education. And also, we have a very vital system for mechanism for teaching research culture. I just explained a little for this. You can see in the school level, we have teaching research group. And on the city or district level, we also have a teaching research office. So they will organize the teacher professional development like this center. But especially on teaching research, is not the professional development center. They will focus on instruction in curriculum. And we have another institution for professional development. It's different. And on the province level, we have teaching research office. So each year, if you are a new teacher, you will, each 5 years, you will spend 360 hours on professional development. 360 hours. So we divided these trainings into 3 parts. Half of the professional development are happening in the school level. And 30% of the professional development happen on the district level in Shanghai. And 20% happens on the province level. For example, at the beginning of each summer holiday, the municipal level education government will organize 1 week of training for all the teachers in Shanghai. 1 week in the beginning of the summer holiday. So we have a very big stadium. So some of the teachers will go to the stadium, they will have face-to-face trainings. And for other teachers, they will stay in their school and they participate online. And for the province level training, the topic is always about the reforms, the curriculums, the new initiative. It's high level. And for the district level, it's more about the problems facing by the local education. Maybe they have some local curriculum, they have some research programs. So this will be focused by the district level. And on the school level, most of the professional development group, teaching research group, will focus on the problems occurred during the class teaching. So if you find some problems in your teaching, you just take the problem to the teaching research group and ask the experienced teachers. They will tell you, they will help you to solve the problem. Okay, that's a teaching research group. And also in China, we have a triangle teacher policy system. In the middle, you can see each teacher have a motivation to improve themselves. And our government also developed mechanism to encourage teachers to develop themselves. So we have a very long career ladder, and you need to climb the career ladder across your teaching life, maybe 40 years. And at the highest, the top of the career ladders. So normal teachers, even if you are a kindergarten teacher, you can get a professorship status. So you are equal as a professor in universities. So that is not depends on what you are working, the institutions. It's about your performance. Okay. When teachers climbing the career ladders, they need some help. So our government will give them in-service training, and we also have many rewards for the performance evaluation. So in this triangle system, we not only give support, we give the rewards and help teachers to climb the career ladder. This is not the destination. It's about to help teachers improve during their teaching life. So I think I do not have much time to explain this very carefully. So maybe we have other chances to explain it. Okay. So I think next one is about this one. Oh, this one. The curriculum improve. So actually, from in the last 40 years, we have reformed our curriculum in 3 times. The first one is in 1985, and the second is the year of 2000, and the third is the year of 2016. So this one is a new curriculum focus. So we divide the curriculum as 3-dimension objectives. So the courses are divided into 3 types: the basic one, the enriched one, and the inquiry-based one. Here is a typical course arrangement for Shanghai Secondary School. You can see these are the basic subjects, the green one, and these are the enriched one, and also inquiry-based one. So in the basic, we have Chinese, math, English, ideology, and morality, and we also have some integrated science, independent subjects, also science, physics, chemistry. So for science, we have integrated one and also independent one. And also for the art, we have integrated art and also independent fine arts and also music. And also we have information technology, all kinds of the basic one. For the enriched curriculum, these are from the basic one, but it's more than that. So you can see here, this one is math, physics, and chemistry. It's like a STEM. Also, each student will spend some time, maybe 1 period in each week, to the inquiry-based study. This is from junior secondary. Okay. So we also reform our school evaluation system. We call this as a green indicator system. It's not like a traditional one, because in tradition, when we evaluate schools, we only see the scores of the main subjects. But for this one, we not only evaluate the student performance, but also student learning motivation, their learning burden, teacher-student relationships, teacher instruction approach, principles, competency, and curriculum learning, everything. So make 10 indicators to evaluate, to comprehensively evaluate schools development. And 6 is about the budget. So each year, according to the law, each year the education budget must increase. We cannot decrease the budget. So our government, from the year 2013 to 2020, each year will increase the budget for education. This makes every school has enough and high quality infrastructures for education. We can see this is from PISA. If a country only pays not enough money for the education, you will get very lower education results. For example, for the Philippines, the government spends very little, the lowest one. So they got the lowest performance. And after 50,000 US dollars, you can see if the government spends more, the performance of students of schools are not increased very rapidly. That means you need to find solutions. You need to find how to use the money. If you just use the money as to build more classrooms, to renew the furniture, that has very little influences of the improvement. So in Shanghai, our spending is more than 50,000 US dollars. So the main focus of the budget is on teacher training, on the resources of student learning. So I think that's the problem we are facing now. Okay, I think that is all I need to share with you. I think maybe you have some questions for me and we can discuss. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Baik Bapak Ibu, dari sedikit meresume tadi Prof sudah memaparkan terkait PISA, Program for International Student Assessment, yaitu adalah studi internasional yang dilakukan oleh Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development (OECD) untuk mengevaluasi sistem pendidikan di berbagai negara. Tujuannya adalah untuk memberikan informasi yang berguna guna memperbaiki sistem pendidikan. Dan PISA dilakukan setiap 3 tahun sekali. Nah, China menduduki peringkat pertama, namun pada tahun 2022 tadi dijelaskan mereka tidak ikut dalam PISA. Nah, tahun 2025 mereka mempersiapkan diri, termasuk juga dengan Bapak Ibu yang ada di sini ya. Tahun depan kita akan mengikuti tes PISA yang mengukur kemampuan dan pengetahuan siswa berusia 15 tahun dalam bidang membaca, matematika, dan sains. Ya, begitu ya Bapak Ibu ya. Beliau juga menambahkan terkait dengan Teaching and Learning International Survey atau TALIS, dan juga menjelaskan tadi ada dijabarkan tentang Professional Learning Community atau kalau kita di sini terkenalnya dengan Kombel ya. Kombel mereka itu sama, ada di level school level, city atau country, baru ada di level province. Sama seperti kita, namun mereka sudah menjalankan jauh sebelum kita bergerak dan mereka ada dipantau langsung oleh Dinas Pendidikan dari Kota Shanghai, Provinsi Shanghai terkait Teacher Development Program. Baik Bapak Ibu, jikalau ada yang ingin ditanyakan, mungkin kita akan buka untuk 3 penanya pertama. Oke, silakan gimana ya Bapak? Saya turun ke bawah ya? Atau Bapak maju ke depan untuk memberikan mic? Oh, ada yang angkat. Baik. 老师，我们提问bisa banjir pakai bahasa Inggris Pak?
My name is Goro. I'm a student from PGB The first question is the teacher in China is very special and very qualified. First question is a primary school teacher is a classroom teacher or a subject teacher? And the second question is from 2009 to 2019. Why the education in China only enroll some city in Eastern China, not China and overall to PISA? And the third question, can you show us the example of some mathematics textbook in primary and secondary school in China? I think. Thank you.
Thank you for your questions. You have 3 questions. I will first answer you. The first question is about whether the primary teacher in China is a class teacher or subject teacher. I think this is very important because in most of the countries, in primary, most of the teachers are class teachers because they teach all the subjects, especially for grade 1 to grade 3. When I was a kid, in my school, teacher from grade 1 to grade 2, they teach all subjects. But after 7 years, our government changed. So now, from grade 1, all the teachers are subject teachers. So in China, all the teachers are subject teachers. But that's one side. And each class have a class teacher. So if you're a Chinese teacher, you not only teach Chinese, you can also be a class teacher. You're responsible for this class. And most of the class teachers are Chinese teachers, math teachers, and English teachers. They are from the main subject. So that's the first question. And the second question is about PISA. So I want to clarify what. Why just Eastern China, not all China? Oh, okay. Actually, after PISA 2012, many provinces they asked the Ministry of Education that they want to participate. So they asked the MOE to organize cross-country PISA. So at the year of 2012, more than 10 provinces they surveyed the students, and we compared the results with OECD average, even the lowest one. I mean, in Yunnan province, it's at the same level as OECD average. So our MOE decided not to let all the provinces to participate because we are a huge country. We cannot just see PISA as a standard. We have our own standard. So we just take PISA as an international benchmark. We select several provinces, we participate in PISA, and we know that what our students performs, what is a disadvantage and advantages. And in our MOE, we also organize a nationwide survey assessment. This assessment is not only reading, math, science, it covers all the subjects, even PE, art, everything. So we have our own national surveys. And in each provinces, for example in Shanghai, we have our own assessment for across Shanghai schools. So for the national one, we assess grade 4 and grade 8. So one in primary, one in junior secondary. So in this way, we not only have the local one national one and international. This will make our to compare with each other with other countries. I think this is. And I think the most important reason is that our government do not want to let PISA as a standard for our education. It's just a reference. So the third question is about. Sorry, I forgot the third question. Oh, yes. I'm sorry I didn't take the math books, but last day when we were in the Ministry of Primary and Basic Education, we discussed the math STEM education. Actually, if you because most of you can read English, right? The British government has translated all the Shanghai math books into English. So you can find all the English version of Chinese math books. Maybe not this time. And also our center, UNESCO Tech, we developed international math courses from grade 1 to grade 9. And these resources are free. It not only includes the textbook, it's all electronic. It has teaching materials, tools, homeworks, everything together. So if there are any people interested in this resource, you can connect with our colleagues and we can provide the resources to you. Okay, thank you.
Baik, terima kasih. Barusan pertanyaannya sungguh bagus sekali ya Bapak, ada 3. Pertanyaan pertama tadi terkait tentang guru ya Pak ya, di sekolah China, terutama untuk SD, apakah itu gurunya seperti di kita meliputi guru walas, wali kelas semua mengikut mengajarkan seluruh mapel atau terbagi menjadi guru mapel. Nah, tadi jawaban dari Profesor, kalau di China sekarang lebih kepada banyaknya satu guru mengaku menjadi guru mapel. Namun ada beberapa guru mengajarkan tidak hanya satu mapel, namun tetap ada wali kelas sebagai penanggung jawab kelas. Karena seperti yang tadi dijelaskan, satu kelasnya itu bisa jumlahnya banyak gitu pesertanya. Namun ketika kami dan para kepala kunjungan ke sekolah, memang banyak jumlah anaknya, tapi fasilitasnya itu luar biasa. Kelasnya juga besar, semua kamera itu bisa ada 8 di ruangan, melihat segala macamnya aktivitas, dan semua manajemen kelasnya itu baik. Jadi tidak ada anak yang hanya yang duduk paling belakang itu tidur dan lain sebagainya, tidak. Terus yang kedua, mengapa PISA di China tidak seluruh provinsi yang ikut? Tadi kalau menurut Prof Jun, pertama China negara yang besar dan mereka kebijakan dari MOE, dari Ministry of Education-nya, bahwa hanya diwakili untuk masuk ke dalam sesuai permintaan OECD, yaitu standarnya hanya 150, jadi tidak perlu melebihi itu, karena China sendiri pun memiliki standar sendiri, membuat standar sendiri untuk seluruh provinsi yang ada. Terus terkait tentang buku, books in education, kebetulan tadi Prof juga menjelaskan bahwa sudah ada terbitan buku dari Shanghai yang sudah ditranslate oleh pemerintah Inggris ke dalam bahasa Inggris untuk grade 1 sampai 9. Nah ini mungkin nanti akan di-share, tapi tidak sekarang. Tapi nanti kalau beliau sudah memberikan ke saya berikan kepada Bu Yanti atau Bu Ana ya, untuk di-share juga kepada Bapak Ibu semuanya. Baik, pertanyaan selanjutnya silakan. Ya, gimana bisa minta tolong? Thank you very much, Chef. First of all, I would like to say thank you for coming to Indonesia, our country. I am Asri Desire Ulfa. I am from SMT Cupreret, Bantul, one of the agency of Jakarta. Okay, I am the secondary teacher in senior high school, junior high school, sorry. Actually, I have listened what you have explained about the PISA, the effort of the teachers in China, how they get a very high score in the world, yeah, international. So it's a little bit, it's your explanation. It seems to be the same in all aspects that I have ever heard, and also all teachers in Indonesia have ever got it. But it is just theory that we have got. But the difference of Indonesia and China is about the culture. We know the theory, but we do not do the practice. That's too bad. So today, maybe you can tell us, let me know about how the teacher give the training and the knowledge in the classroom for the students, as you told the first, and also, the strategy they can train the student. And my second question is, what to do after the teacher also analyze the student background, because it is so important. After the student analyze the student's background, so what should we do after we know about their background, maybe the treatment? Let me know about it. So the third question. Now, this is a very big, a great deal of Indonesian teacher. How to engage the teachers with the disciplinary and also develop more. Because I think that Indonesian teacher, like in my school, we have very low commitment to the discipline, and also a very low commitment to upgrade our own mind. Just that, Jeff. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. So, also three questions. So the first question is about culture influence. I should see culture has influence for education results. It really plays a role. So I can remember 10 years ago I went to Mexico to give a lecture, and after the lecture, a Mexico teacher asked me a question: how can we change our culture? I said, no, you do not need to change your culture. You should be proud of your culture. So every country, every ethnic have their own culture. You need to find the advantage and disadvantage. So in Chinese culture, so from 1,000 years ago, we have a system to assess the public servants. So we select public servants 1,000 years through exam. So that makes people all believe through education you can get higher social status. So the focus on education, they think knowledge, they think the jobs, the careers related with knowledge is higher than the others. So that's a part of the culture. But you cannot change your culture. So I think government plays a vital role to give some systematic reforms, especially for school system, for teacher training, everything. So we need to ask or to let the government to know what is happening in school, in the classroom, and they can make policies. So after several years, the government policies will also change the culture. So I think the policy is very important. You know, for more than 40 years ago, China opened the door. We have a new policy, reforms, open the door. At that time, most parts of the Chinese population are illiterate. We cannot read and cannot calculate. So, because we need to find more qualified workers, so we first improve our education. So government give money, train teachers, set up schools, and only after 2 years, most of the Chinese kids can go to school. So this ensures the development of the economy. So I think education is the most important invest of government to the country. So we need to let the government know this. Most of the government is in that maybe industry is more important than others, because education, you put money and you need to wait maybe 10 years more than that to get results. So I think the government policy is important. We do not need to change the culture. Second question. Oh yeah, student background. You know, even in the large cities, for example in Shanghai, you have the rich families and you have the poor families. So just as an example, I share with you, this kid, his parents are migrant workers. They sell vegetables in the market. They do not have money to pay for a house, and they do not have a table for the student to read. So our government help them. So for example, if you are a student from the poor family, the government will give you free lunch. Free lunch, everything is free for education. And that's one part. And if the students do not, their family cannot provide learning space after school, after the school hours, the school will provide 1 or 2 classrooms for the kids to study in school, and they will ask some teachers to look after them. So in this way, we can give all the kids chances to learn. So I think government also plays a vital role to help the poor family. Teachers, I want to know, you mentioned the teacher discipline is the discipline of the classroom or teacher's discipline? Teacher's discipline. Oh yes, teacher's discipline. That's a problem always met by principals. You know, principals. I think in Indonesia, principals also like Chinese principals, they do not have the right to move teachers to other schools or to fire teachers. You cannot. So in China, first we have performance-based salary. Performance-based salary means the salary of a teacher is dependent on their performance. So you have a basic salary, it's almost 70% of your whole salary. And principals controls the other 30%. So if you perform well, you get more than 100%. Maybe you get 120% in others. And if you perform poor, you just get 70%. That makes principal have power. Yeah. We need to have power. And also, we have many awards for teachers. Awards to encourage teachers. Even if you are a new teacher, if you work very hard, the principals can give you chances. Maybe you can go to have some contacts, instructor contacts. You can give open lessons. You can improve very, very fast. But if you not work hard, you just stay at minimal level. So, and also, if you always perform very poor, the principal will move you to other positions in the school. Maybe not teaching. You will do some other things, but teaching. So regulations is very important for school management. For in China, the principals play the vital role, but there is a very big management team to help the principals. So in a typical Chinese school, you have one principal, one vice principal, and you have more than 10 middle management teams. So some are responsible for the curriculum, some are responsible for the activities, and some are responsible for the facilities. So each one is responsible for one area. This will help the principal to make the schools to go smoothly. So thank you for the questions.
Terima kasih Ibu, luar biasa ya Bapak Ibu yang ada di sini dibilang 3 pertanyaan, ini 1 orang masing-masing 3 pertanyaan. Baik, tadi pertanyaan dari Ibu yang pertama tentang culture ya, dan katanya kita ini tahu udah teorinya tuh udah matang gitu ya Bu, namun ketika mempraktekannya agak susah. Nah, tadi Profesor Chu menjelaskan bahwa tiap negara memiliki culture masing-masing yang berbeda-beda dan kita tidak perlu mengubah budaya. Mungkin ini agak berbeda, mungkin yang dimaksud dengan ini budaya positif kali ya Bu ya. Nah ini yang perlu diperbaiki menurut beliau adalah sistem yang dijalankan di sekolah karena atau yang sistem dari pemerintah terapkan karena pentingnya pendidikan untuk masa depan yang lebih baik, for better future education ya tadi. Yang kedua, analisis latar belakang siswa. Selanjutnya setelah melakukan analisis, treatment apa lagi? Ya, mungkin ini tergantung terhadap kasus atau latar belakang di sekolah. Ya, kalau yang tadi dicontohkan oleh beliau, mungkin misalkan setelah menganalisis latar belakang dari wali murid, ada kesenjangan sosial. Nah, itu dari pemerintah atau dari sekolah ada treatment yang berbeda, mungkin ada dana bantuan untuk sekolah dan lain sebagainya. Kemudian how to engage teacher discipline. Nah, kalau ini tadi beliau menjelaskan bahwa kepala sekolah memang tidak punya wewenang untuk memecat atau memutasikan guru, sehingga yang ada adalah bahwa adanya penilaian dari performance atau kinerja ya, kinerja, di mana tunjangan terkait dari hasil penilaian kinerja guru yang menilai adalah, di mana yang menilai adalah kepala sekolah, seperti itu. Jadi mau nggak mau mereka akan berlomba agar memenuhi target performansinya untuk karena berimbas kepada tunjangannya masing-masing. Seperti itu. Pertanyaan
I think I can add another one for the question, for the last question.
Satu orang ini Bapak di depan dari tadi udah tunjuk tangan ya. Yang mana Pak? Ini ada 3 bapak-bapak gagah di depan, nggak kebagian nih dari tadi. Bapak silakan. Nanti kewalahan loh, ada yang terantri ini.
Terima kasih. Saya akan menyampaikan dalam bahasa Indonesia saja. Khawatir nanti malah nggak paham bahasa Indonesia yang kurang lebih.
他有谜语来问，提问，然后我来翻译一下。
Ya, terima kasih. Terkait dengan pengembangan profesionalitas guru, jadi disampaikan bahwa pelatihan guru dilakukan hanya pada awal libur sekolah. Pertanyaan saya, lembaga apa yang menyelenggarakan pelatihan tersebut, dan apakah lembaga peningkatan kompetensi guru di Cina itu berbasis wilayah untuk semua mapel atau berbasis mapel untuk seluruh wilayah? Terima kasih.
Baik, terima kasih. 他好像这里的中性的那个跟我一样的那个小师，他就是提问就是跟刚才一样 解释的就包括教师培训的，因为你刚才提了那个给老师们培训，只有在暑假底下，对吗？就是在放假的时候，学校放假的时候，对他想更了解，深入了解，然后有没有就像我们中心一样的然后老师们怎么可以参加培训？是不是他们升级还是政府邀请他们是这个？然后培训是按照课程老师比如说数学培训，还是按照什么样的培训？
So the question is about teacher training, teacher professional development. Actually, in China, we have different systems for teacher professional development. In Shanghai, we have 3 institutions. So the first one is Teacher Research Office. Teaching Research Office, not teacher. Teaching Research Office. They have more than 200 staffs working there. This is one. This one is mainly focused on curriculum development, on teaching research growth, on instruction. So based on the classroom teaching. And we have another one. It's called Shanghai Academy of Educational Sciences. So this one focused on the research of teacher, of school. So most of the staff in this academy, they are educational researchers. We divide into different groups. So some are responsible for the educational research for primary school, middle school, and some are for the vocational school, some are for the higher education. And the third one is Teacher Professional Development Institution. So like this center. So we have 3 institutions responsible for teacher development. And also we have many universities. They have close connections with schools. They also provide teacher training programs. For example, if a teacher only have a bachelor's degree, he wants to continue to get a master's degree, he can participate in the program. So each institution has different functions. So if you are a teacher, you want to do some research-related development, you go to the Academy of Educational Sciences. You collaborate with others to study. And after you finish the study project, you get some scores. Scores, there is a score system across online. So you can submit your training courses. For example, if you give a lecture, for others, you just give a certificate to prove that you participate and you get a score. So that makes sense. So each teacher, you will, in 5 years, they need to spend 360 hours of training. So it will all. So besides this, there are some contests. For example, if you're a math teacher, there will be municipal level, district level, school level math teaching contests. So if you got the first place of your school level contest, you can go to the district level. Then you go to the province level, and then you go to national level. If you got the national medal, you will be the best one, and you can improve very fast. So we have different such contests rewards and networks of teacher development. And especially for the new teachers. From the results of the test, we can see that Chinese teachers have the most complex network of development comparing other countries. So in this way, we can ensure that all teachers can get chances to improve themselves. So that's my answer. Thank you.
Terima kasih Bapak berterang saja. Intinya adalah bahwa di China juga ada lembaga seperti DDP, yaitu Teacher Development Education Center, juga ada Teaching Research Office yang menangani kurikulum, pengembangan kurikulum, penelitian dan lain sebagainya. Dan di China masih menerapkan kita seperti zaman dahulu ya, di suaranya juga bahwa mengumpulkan atau guru-guru angka kredit ya Bapak Ibu dari pelatihan-pelatihan yang ada, skornya dikumpulkan, sertifikatnya juga dikumpulkan untuk menunjang sampai di mana nanti bisa naik ke level yang mana, karena tetap ada seperti Bapak dan Ibu juga ada guru pelatihan, budaya dan lain sebagainya seperti itu. Baik Bapak Ibu, mengingat waktu sudah jam 12:10 dan beliau juga harus mengikuti kegiatan aktivitas lainnya, umum saja. Maka saya kembalikan waktu dan kesempatan kepada MC. Silakan Ibu. Terima kasih Bapak dan Ibu. Oh Bapak Ibu, kita ucapkan terima kasih dulu dan bahasa Mandarin.
Terima kasih.
谢谢老师。
谢谢老师。
Warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you very much, Professor, for the very inspiring and enlightening session. Dan terima kasih Bu Gita sudah menjadi jembatan komunikasi kami dengan